Hi, sixth graders. This is Mr. Ott here, and in desperate need of a haircut. Today I'm going to be reading a book called The Spartans. This is part of our lesson on ancient Athens and Sparta. I am not going to be reading all of this book because not all of the topics in it are really relevant to what we're talking about in our lesson. Well, that said, let's dive right in. So, who were the Spartans? The Greek city-state of Sparta was one of the greatest military powers in ancient Greece. Spartan men spent most of their time training for war. They valued strength, skill, and bravery. Their courage and discipline struck fear in their enemies. Spartan fact: many Greek city-states were surrounded by walls. Not Sparta. Spartans thought of their warriors as their walls. Sparta rose to power about 3,000 years ago. Warriors were free Spartans called Spartiates. They had a lot of time to train because of the class system in Sparta. Other classes served under them and did daily tasks. The Perioikoi were a class of free people who brought special skills to Sparta. They were craftspeople and merchants. The Helots were slaves with no rights. They were the class that served the Spartiates. Spartan fact: many other Greek city-states felt Sparta gave its women too much power. Spartan women were allowed to own land and were the heads of their households. Spartan training. There was no room for the weak in Sparta. The strongest men married the strongest women. They bore the strongest children. Boys had to be able to endure the grueling training to become a warrior. At age 7, Spartan boys left their home for a military school called a agoge. They lived in barracks and were taught to be tough. Teachers made them fight one another. The best young warriors took part in a secret training called the Crypteia. They had to kill the Helots to prove themselves as warriors. Young Spartan men became soldiers when they were 20 years old. They served as full-time soldiers until they were 40 years old. They remained in reserves until they were 60. All Spartan soldiers learned to march in formation. The most famous formation was the phalanx. Soldiers marched close together holding spears and large shields. The shields overlapped to form a defensive wall. The phalanx was a powerful formation. Enemies needed huge numbers of soldiers to break through it. Spartan fact: the Greek word for a citizen soldier was hoplite. I'm going to skip over the Spartan equipment, and we're going to learn some of the vocabulary from this book. So, barracks. A barracks means housing for soldiers. City-state. A city-state is a city that governs itself and the surrounding area. Sparta, Athens, and Thebes are examples of ancient city-states. Class system. Class system is a social order based on status. People in a class system are treated according to their status. Discipline. Discipline means order and control. Formation. Formation is a set arrangement. Spartans marched and fought in formations. Crypteia. Crypteia is a secret training for young, skilled Spartans. Young men were sent into the countryside to spy on and kill Helots. Phalanx. A phalanx is a military formation in which a large number of infantry troops march together, protected by a solid wall of shields. Reserves. Reserves are a group of military members who are not on active duty, but can be called on to fight. revolted, rose up, and fought against. And that is the end of our book on the Spartans. I hope you guys enjoyed reading about them, and in the future I will be reading more books on ancient Greece or maybe about Sparta. All right. Thank you guys for listening, and goodbye.